She's also probably the authority on internet marketing right now. She teaches for Clark University, and she does nationwide seminars. And I think we are very privileged to have her again this year. And you know, when we thought about this, we said, gee, my first question was, is there anything new that you can share? And she said, you gotta be kidding, it's all changed in a year. So it's all new, folks. Probably not much repetition for the folks that were here last time, but I think you're going to learn a lot this morning, and I'll turn it over to Louise. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Today I'm really focusing on advertising, the world of advertising, and I think in the past we've thought about advertising as Madison Avenue, the big players, the big guys, the big firms, the holding companies, and invent or add the same world today as it was 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you probably say to yourself, well, 3 months, you know, let's look back 10 years, let's look back 20 years. And today what I'm going to help you see is not only where it's coming today and why advertising has changed today, but where it has been and why, and some of the reasons that it is changing and why those things exist. You know, Ted was very nice in introducing me as someone who really understands this marketplace at this moment. It's changing all the time, but we get a lot of our information, believe it or not, from the internet. This particular presentation, a couple of the resources that we've used are things like articles from Media Post, Webside Story, interesting little title, Online Media Daily, OMA Talking Heads. If you don't know what that is, that's podcasting or videotaping like we're doing now and going online and hearing these people at various conferences tell about new marketing trends. So if you listen to what they're saying and then you have read the articles and then you read research papers online, which is the Piper Jaffray information and a lot of the charts that you're going to see, because they spend millions of dollars studying these markets, and then various books like this one that's become very popular, The Long Tail, and it's really becoming important. In Las Vegas, I think a year and a half ago, we had Malcolm Gladwell talk about the tipping point, and you think, how does that, you know, interface with web? Well, it is important because when it's like a wave, it could be it could be a tidal wave, but then it could be a tsunami. So what's the size of this market? So basically, that's what I'm going to be looking at today is where advertising is, and typically we know what advertising is getting in front of your audience and getting your marketing message out. So let's get started. So here's what I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover basically the new advertising companies. So who are the players today and why? Then I'm going to look at the trends that drive this change. Then we're going to look at the new world media order, because that's very important. And then obviously I'm going to have some conclusions, and hopefully if I can rush through this, we can have some questions at the end. So, I think I'm going the wrong direction. It's always good to know your right from your left. Anyway, okay, so who are the new players on the block? Now, I think if you look at, there's a couple things about this slide that I think are important. Number one is the two major players, and we're talking giants. Bigger than the giant advertising players on Madison Avenue, believe it or not. They have more dollars and they're investing more dollars. But that's not the whole story. The thing that you have to look at, and we've kind of looked at that, I think I kind of even alluded to it last year when I did the word of mouth presentation and where social media is going, and we kind of had a snapshot of that whole movement last year. So it hasn't been overnight, it's been kind of gradually moving in this direction. But there are a couple of things that happened very, very recently, okay, and that make a very big difference. Number one is Microsoft's acquisitions. I'm not even going to say Google's acquisitions first, because Google has been slowly biting away little pieces of the advertising world. And they have their eyes are really very much aware of where things are moving way before other people even notice it, i.e. they bought YouTube for a lot of money. So there was a reason that they did that, because that's where some of the eyeballs are, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what have they been buying lately is really geared to advertising. This is what we really need to start paying attention to. And one of the things is that they're buying ad-serving networks. Okay? They're buying ad-serving networks. So they bought DoubleClick 5207. I mean, we're talking this month. So, you're talking about new technology this month. These are the acquisitions. They bought the DeMart Broadcasting, which is radio. They bought Clear Channel. You probably heard about that. But the important thing is not that they're buying that. It's why they're buying it and how are they going to serve ads on those properties now, you see. Then Microsoft recently bought, to be competitive, they knew that they had to move in this direction, or they're going to be really out of the picture. And on the next couple of slides, you'll see why it's so important for Microsoft to be moving in this direction. Microsoft is a true giant. They bought a Quantitative, which is also a digital ad-serving network. So now they have one. So Google has one, they have one. They also bought Screen Tonic. It's not disclosed yet, but this is a mobile digital ad network. And at the last search engine strategies just recently in New York, one of the things that came out really strong is that mobile technology is moving, and it's going to be, FiOS, it's going to be very important within 2 years. It still is 2 years away. I think in Europe they're a little further along, but we are still probably 2 years away. Now, the way they described it at Webmaster World, which I thought, at Search Engine Strategies rather, which I thought was very interesting, is that this is the way they say it. You have your cell phone. You're walking down Fifth Avenue, and you type in, I need a pizza now. So because of the GPS systems and because of the search capabilities and because of everything else, it can actually target you standing right there on the corner and say, 2 blocks to your right, there's this pizza place. 3 blocks to the left is this one, etc. And you will be able to not only look at those pizza places, but you'll be able to go to a website that rates them so you know which one is good. So, the thing is that it's all integrated, and that's why the lines of advertising, traditional advertising versus, the online ad is very blurry right now. It's very blurry right now. So they bought Massive, which is an in-game, and the in-game stuff is very important, as you'll see on some other slides. Again, where is advertising in front of the eyeballs? Where are the people that you need to be in front of to get your marketing message or advertising message out there?